Good morning and welcome to the judges, teachers, guests, and participants of FRSIS 2024. Now, I would like to introduce our judges today. The Chief Judge is Encik Khairul Naim bin Abdul Aziz, Lecturer, Faculty of Applied Science, University Teknologi Mara, Cawangan, Perlis. The second judge is Ms. Mastinawati binti Ahmad from Sekolah Menengah Sains Batu Pahat. The third judge is Ms. Anis Fakira binti Muhammad Khirzani from Sekolah Menengah Sains Tuanku Muhammad Faris Petra, and I, Nur Nadiatul Husna binti Iskandar Saifuddin from Sekolah Menengah Sains Teluk Intan, while the timekeepers Umar Zuhdi bin Azman and Ryan Iqmal Hakim bin Sofizan are from Sekolah Menengah Sains Tuanku Syed Putra Perlis. Now let me read the rules. Firstly, each team should consist of presenters and technical assistant. Secondly, the presentation must focus on the sub-theme assigned to the team. Thirdly, the duration of the presentation should not be more than 10 minutes. Fourthly, the bell will ring once at the 9th minute and twice at the 10th minute. Lastly, a question and answer session will be conducted after each presentation. After all that being said, let's hear from the first team, Sekolah Menengah Sains Kuala Terengganu, to present.
Over the year, the effect of climate change has significantly increased in Malaysia due to the lack of awareness among the citizens. Therefore, Malaysia has taken steps to combat and mitigate climate emergency using artificial intelligence, AI, to help boost the efficiency and the effectiveness of the technologies that is already in use. But what are these technologies and initiatives that we are talking about? Before I continue my presentation, allow me to introduce my teammates. My name is Eza and this is Dini. We are the presenter for today. And as for the repertoire and technical experts, we have Ahmad Atif and Daniel Hakim. And lastly, our teacher advisor, Mrs. Sawani Azlina. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to the honorable judges, precious timekeepers, the moderator and the repertoire, and to all of the members of the floors. Now let's take a look at on our problem statement. Based on CCPI Climate Change Performance Index, Malaysia is ranked 59th out of 147 countries. This is due to our country's dependence on oil and gas industry. Plus, a shift in weather pattern has also resulted in more frequent heat waves. What are the objectives of our research? In 2022, our previous Prime Minister Ismail Sabri has stated that the government will embark on 3 actions to boost the country's resilience and preparation in facing the impact of climate change and floods, as well as strengthening the public health sector. So what are the 3 actions that were mentioned? The first one is strengthening infrastructure, which means enhancing infrastructure to withstand extreme weather. The second one is environmental conservation, which is developing and implementing conservation programs to protect natural ecosystems. And lastly, public health initiatives, which is increasing public health measures to address climate-related health risks. So, we mainly focus to gain a better understanding of Malaysia's role in combating climate change. And the second one, which is to delve into AI initiatives that have been used in Malaysia to combat climate change. And lastly, to offer a perspective and suggestions for AI use in the future. So moving on to our research methods, our team did 4 different research methods. The first one is interview. We did an interview with Prof. Madya Dr. Muhammad Shahrul, a lecturer of Department of Earth Sciences and Environment at UKM, who is also a participant of expedition and paper presenter for MISA. And our second panel of expert is Mr. Khairi Alias, who is an engineer of TMB Renewables from Tenaga Nasional Berhad. Our second method of research is field trip. We organized a field trip to solar power station, 50 megawatts in Merchang, Terengganu. We also extracted data and information from websites and online articles. And lastly, we did a Google form survey and we successfully received 157 respondents from the age of 13 to 65. As you can see, only half of the public is well aware about the use of AI in mitigating climate emergency in Malaysia, whereby the rest of the public should be well educated so that they can help with the government's efforts. Now moving on to Malaysia's contribution. Malaysia is not far behind in contributing to fight climate emergency. MISA, which is Malaysia International Seminar on Antarctic, is a program that is handled by NARC, which is National Antarctic Research Center. What MISA does is that they gather researchers from all around the world to be sent to Antarctic and for them to do seminars. And what they do from what they get from the seminars is ideas on how to combat climate change. As you can see, the panel of experts that we interviewed, Prof. Maria, Dr. Shahrul, participated in this program. And after the expedition, a device is invented which is Airbox Sense. Airbox Sense is an ambient air quality monitoring system with integrated software and sensors that measures the concentration of ambient pollution. It uses AI to analyze, gathers, and derive insights from data, thus enabling real-time monitoring.
So now we are moving on to how Malaysia is tackling the climate emergency problems relating to one of the three actions that was mentioned before, which is in environmental conservation. So the first one is renewable energy source. So one of renewable energy source that Malaysia use is solar energy. For your information, the first use of solar energy in Malaysia dates back in 1982 when the country launched a pioneering solar PV rural electrification program. So what is solar panels? Solar panels is a photovoltaic power station, which is a large scale grid connected photovoltaic power system. In Malaysia, solar panels are typically located in regions with high solar radiation such as Selangor and Kedah. Malaysia possesses ideal weather for both solar water heating and solar electricity production. The country enjoys substantial solar energy radiation potential with an average of 6 to 8 hours of daily sunshine. So as we all know, solar farms works by capturing solar energy through a photovoltaic panels that contains solar cells that will convert the sunlight into electricity. So the use of AI algorithm analyze vast amount of data, including weather forecast and historical solar irradiation patterns to accurately predict solar energy generation. These help grid operators better manage supply and demand. So moving on to the second Malaysia AI initiative in handling climate emergency, which is smart grid system. So what do we know about smart grid? What does smart really mean? So smart is a device that embedded with machine to machine or cognitive computing, such as artificial intelligence, which can make decision without the help of human. So smart grid is an electricity network that uses digital and other advanced technologies to monitor and manage the transport of electricity. So did you know that in 2014, Malaysia has started using this smart grid system in Melaka? Smart grid system introduced two-way communication where electricity and information can be exchanged between the utility and the provider and the customers. It's a developing network of communication, control, automation, computers, and new technologies and tools to make the grid more efficient. By measuring homes' energy consumption more frequently, utility can provide their customers with much better information to manage their electricity bills. So smart meter is a digital device that measures and record energy consumption and communicate the data directly to the utility provider and eliminating the needs for manual meter readings. So with this technology, engineers will be more precisely and more predictably manage electricity production other than minimizing energy loss. So the third AI initiative is weather forecasting. So what is weather forecast? Weather forecast is the result of the process of predicting the state of the atmosphere for a particular place and time using science, which is meteorology. So in Malaysia, weather forecast is handled by the Malaysian Meteorological Department. And based on our research, the first satellite in Malaysia for weather forecasting was TUANKU, which was launched on 26th of September in the year 2000. So weather forecast is crucial in Malaysia due to climate change significantly altering weather patterns, leading to more extreme and more unpredictable events. So how does weather forecasting work? Weather forecast involves collecting data from various sources, and the data is processed and analyzed using various algorithms to evaluate the accuracy of the forecast. So AI algorithm require this accurate data to identify potential hazard and send automated notification alerts.
Now moving on to the suggestions, our team has a few suggestions on how to combat climate emergency. Our team believes that the Malaysian government should start develop more infrastructure projects using green building technology. Therefore, this initiative should be done in a large scale. Green building is a technology that offers the potential to reduce energy and resource usage, improve air and water quality, and it creates a better living environment. Our team also believes that the public should start doing something small but very impactful, such as the children from young age should be educated about nature so that they have the awareness. And as a consumer, the public should start choosing AI generative appliances or smart appliances. As for our last words, while the climate change issue may seem complex, but we have to remember that even small actions can make a difference.
Now, I would like to invite the audience to ask questions. Perhaps any questions from the judges?
Okay, thank you for the presentation. So can you explain to us a little bit more about this green building technology that you suggest? Yes. So thank you for the question. So actually, green building technology, it should be incorporated for everyone. So to the residential homes, to buildings in the cities, to skyscrapers, everything should be able to use green building. So green building technology offers the potential to reduce carbon emissions by looking at everything from the floor that we are standing on right here, from the materials used to the heat inside, right? So if the countries are really hot, their materials to be used can keep heat in the rooms to be ideal for everyone. So everything is gonna be calculated, and even though it is more expensive, but the cost will be help because the energy will be less wasted, and the cost of bills will be less also. So everything balances out. Does that answer your question? Questions. So, in this green building, is there any AI elements in it? Oh yes, of course. So such AI appliances we're gonna mention is such as smart lamps. For example, we can use Alexa, for example, or any AI generative appliances like a smart lamp, right? That sounds weird, but a lamp that is able to connect to a port such as Alexa, that we can directly control from us, like in a phone, or we can say, "Hey Alexa, please turn off the lights." So that is the AI used in the green building. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Sekolah Menengah Sains Kuala Terengganu, for the thought-provoking presentation. Now, I would like to invite the second. Now, I would like to invite Sekolah Menengah Sains Tuanku Rohani, Tuanku Aisyah Rohani to present.
A game changer for agriculture transformation. In the face of growing global demands and environmental challenges, the agriculture industry is undergoing a transformative shift. AI is at the forefront for this revolution. So, what is stopping us from becoming the game changer between humanity and the climate, and from witnessing greater good for tomorrow and after? But before that, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I bid to the honorable judges, precise timekeepers, and all present on the floor. Here I stand today as your first speaker. My name is Nur Zahira Filzah, and I will be presenting on the first 5 parts as part of our index.
My name is Nur Alia, your second speaker, and I'll be presenting on our last 2 parts of our presentation. With us today, our trusted IT technical, Adriana Sofia, and reliable moderator, Putri Nurzainina.
So, let me define to you all the key factor of our research study, leveraging AI. Leveraging AI presents opportunities in enhancing and optimizing processes for efficiency and resilience. Now, we detected that our problem statement was that Malaysia's agriculture industry stands at a critical juncture, facing the risk of significant decline due to insufficient adoption of high technology methods. Understanding the climate change challenges behind why this adoption must take place is vital. Picture this. When the sun reaches a high temperature, it firstly affects the condition of the soil, making it infertile for plant growth. With this in the way, low quality of plant production becomes the main matter stressed by the downfall of agriculture industries. If we fail to take action now, worst case scenario would be the future of plant species becoming extinct. Understanding the motivations that lie behind this motion is crucial. Embracing modern technology offers hope for overcoming present and future environmental threats. Therefore, we believe in our sole objective of leveraging new technology in enhancing agricultural practices to mitigate these challenges. Hence, we can ensure sustainability of future plants and productivity in cultivating plants. With these 2 elements being fulfilled, we can ensure Malaysia's agriculture industry as an industry for world standard for quality producers. Buckling down onto the need of AI application by aligning it to SDG 9's goals, which are building resilient infrastructure, inclusive industrialization, and innovation, can be fulfilled with the help of AI. Thus, integration of AI not only helps tackle immediate concerns, but also contributes to broader sustainable development goals while improving societal well-being. A technique that we use to explore further into our methodology revolves around triangulation method. Multiple research articles were studied throughout to get a better understanding of how climate change affects plants. Next were interviews with meta scholars. We managed to get in contact with Professor Dr. Umarani Sinia, a professor of agriculture in University Putra Malaysia under the Department of Crop Science. During our session with her, we discussed about Malaysia's agricultural problems and ways to apply AI and technology for agriculture. Lastly was a questionnaire that we did with people under agriculture expertise. We understood that low productivity comes as the main effect of climate change towards plants. Many improvements were suggested by the service respondents, and most importantly, we can finally say AI is something society needs and hopes for the future of agriculture through our last question, which is if they believe that AI could enhance plant production, in which majority answered yes. So, what we can conclude here from external sources were that crops are awfully produced due to climate change, which then causes loss of income when plants fail to fulfill its role to society and the environment. If this matter proceeds, chances are that Malaysia would have to rely on imported products. Therefore, AI really does become the industry's weapon to preventing these events and furthering the industry's growth.
Moving on with our case study, we have conducted a case study on a farm in Port Dickson that leveraged the use of technology, which is TUANKU Farm. We managed to get in contact with Mr. Dave, the farm owner. We paid the farm a visit to see with our own eyes the technologies that Mr. Dave is currently practicing in his farm. Here's a little brief introduction on TUANKU Farm. TUANKU Farm was born in the heart of Kuala Lumpur during the MC period by Mr. Dave, who wants to challenge himself and try to plant a highly requested fruit that are usually sold at a high price. That is when he chooses to plant melons. Despite obstacles in cultivating the melons, through dedication and integration of AI and technology, the farm has successfully yielded high-quality melons for the past 2 years. While we were there, we managed to identify few applications of technologies in his farm, which firstly, Mr. Dave uses eGrow, which is a system in mobile phones which are also known as IoT that offers professional solutions for hydroponic monitoring and control. This system allows Mr. Dave to monitor the surrounding environment that may affect the plant health, such as pH level and exposure to sun. This way, whenever Mr. Dave detects a change in pH level that is not suitable for the plants, he can overcome it there and then. By using this technology, it has benefited Mr. Dave in many ways, such as, firstly, less usage of human energy. For his farm of 1.8 acres, he only has 1 worker. Next, it also increases the productivity of farming. If he keeps the plant happy at all times, he can harvest up to 300 melons in only 77 days' time. And lastly, it helps to obtain precise and accurate measurements of data that can help Mr. Dave to predict his plants. Besides that, he also installed a few electronic devices that access security measures, namely sensors and CCTV. If there are no sensors nor CCTV, the plants are being exposed to very high risk of animals. However, there are 3 problems acquainted by Mr. Dave, which firstly, high cost of fertilizer and electricity, secondly being wildlife disturbance, and lastly, no subsidies to practice sustainability. Here are some suggestions that can help enhance Malaysia's agriculture industry and hence winning the race against climate. The first level is through the government themselves. Farmers grappling with high electricity and water expenses need government support through loans for smart farming. This fosters productivity, limits environmental harm, and mitigates soil depletion concerns. The next level is through the farmers. Since these problems are faced by Mr. Dave, we are assured that it is applicable to many more farmers. Firstly, farmers should be on the search for the highest quality seed ever to produce high quality plants that can meet the world's quality standard. Here is when AI and technology comes handy. In the process of modifying the seeds, the use of AI and technology is leveraged to the most to get the best product possible. Next, precision farming utilizes GPS, sensors, and drones to tailor actions to field variations, boosting yields and cutting costs. We take China as an example. China has a significant number of agricultural drone companies that are manufacturing cost-effective drones, making the technology accessible to many farmers. Drones are largely employed for pesticide spraying in China, which has proven much efficient and more faster rather than traditional method. This sets a precedent for Malaysia's agricultural enhancement. And lastly, farmers should benefit Malaysia's weather as a source of renewable energy since we receive sunlight 7 days a week. And investment for installation of solar panels are highly recommended, especially to farms that are practicing sustainable agriculture. This way, farmers can still manage their farm and at the same time reduce their bills. Now, the real question is, how do we adopt AI in adapting to the climate? We're talking about the use of solar thermal energy we are talking about the use of solar thermal energy in the production of ammonia. Today, the production of ammonia, which are used in fertilizer, is anything but green. The latest invention to produce green ammonia still contribute to the release of greenhouse gases by 1% of carbon dioxide worldwide. With the application of AI and technology, we are inventing a new process that can convert solar energy into ammonia and fertilizer with the lowest gases emission possible with the help of electrochemical cells. Let's say we're implementing this process at TUANKU farm. It is an automated AI-driven process that will channel produced ammonia or fertilizer to the plants that are in need of it. That is through the data collected by precision farming technology that I just stated just now. Hence, this can help Mr. Dave to reduce his electricity bills and save fertilizer costs. Hence, we can safeguard our planet as we minimize the use of excessive fertilizer. In conclusion, leveraging AI and technology, Malaysia's agriculture industry does have potential for better production of sustainable plants, drawing the world's attention towards this industry. Hence, this proactive action is crucial in potentially becoming the game changer and winning the race against climate. That is the end of our presentation. We are now open to any questions.
Now, I would like to invite the audience to ask questions.
Hello, my name is Fidaus from SM Science TUANKU Menawi, and I have two questions regarding your ideas for Malaysia agriculture. Okay, so regarding your statement about the implementation of technology in China, how can we as a Malaysia implement those technologies such as the drones that you stated before in Malaysia? And how can China make their technology such as the drones make them to work? And how should Malaysia do that? I mean, how effective are those technology in Malaysia? Thank you.
Thank you for the questions. So regarding your first questions about how Malaysia can implement those drone technology in Malaysia, well, what we can say is that we can, with higher authorities that have more knowledge about the agriculture sector, can go to China and collaborate with China on how they implement their technology of drones in the agriculture sector. So by gaining deeper knowledge and idea about how they implement it, it can be brought back to Malaysia and we can practice it.
Next, based on your second question, which is how China technology can make it accessible to Malaysia and to all farmers, is that it falls back to how we rely on government itself. We've been observing on Chinese government how they are providing substantial subsidies for the farmers to actually invest in their technology drones. Not only that, these substantial subsidies can cover a significant portion of the technology drones costs. Not only that, the government have also provided financial incentives and low interest loans for them. Next is that we can see Chinese companies have been inventing a range of affordable drones. For example, DJI. Mass production and economies of these companies can actually reduce the amount of the cost and make it affordable for the farmers. So how do we make it accessible and how can we make it happen in Malaysia is that we have been providing these ideas and thoughts, and we are hoping for the Malaysia government itself to improve our agriculture industry to be on the same level as the other countries as well.
Thank you, Sekolah Menengah Sains Tuanku Aisyah Rohani for the informative presentation. Now, I would like to invite Sekolah Menengah Sains Sultan Iskandar to present.
As they always say, a modern problems requires a modern solution. And before that, Assalamualaikum. I've been to all judges, timekeepers, moderator and rapporteur and all audience in here. In this team, I'm as a moderator, Muhammad Arif Shadat.
And my name is Nordinia Aisha. I am a presenter.
And I'm Nur Aisha Humaira, is the rapporteur.
And this is our technical assistant, Muhammad Ryan Haris. So today, our objective is to study the ability of artificial intelligence in terms of preventing environmental problems such as climate change. Also, we will compare the impacts of artificial intelligence usage environmentally in countries.
So Ari, what exactly is artificial intelligence?
Artificial intelligence or AI refers to the computer system capable of performing complex tasks that historically only humans can do, such as reasoning, making decisions, or solving problems. AI also serves as a powerful safeguard to innovation, industry, and infrastructure. AI optimize processes, predict potential disruption, and lastly, identify vulnerabilities. So according to our research, we listed China, Malaysia, and the United States of America that use AI. We will compare how they use AI environmentally. So, the United States of America, one of the biggest countries in the world, they have population in about 333.3 million, and their rates of using AI is 45.2%. The United States ranks second in the world since they has been utilizing artificial intelligence technology for several decades with significant advancement and application of emerging over time. On 1950 until 1960, the early foundation in AI were laid in the United States of America. During this period, many researchers such as Alan Tuck, John McCarthy, and Marvin Minsky making pioneering contribution. And now, AI technology in the United States of America continue to evolve rapidly with ongoing research such as reinforcement learning. The United States remains as a global leader in the AI research with academic institutions. So, the problem is, how does the AI usage in the USA affect environmentally? In the United States, they have many problems such as flood, earthquake, and wildfire. The reason it happened because heavy rainfall, river overflow, fracking, and climate conditions. The impact of natural disaster happens in their country is it will damage the infrastructure, property will damage, and it can cause a community disruption. So how AI respond to control the natural disaster happen in their country? AI can detect and monitoring flood. Also that it can bring a community engagement education, and lastly, it can control the fire behavior prediction.
So now, let's look at the next country. China is the second biggest country in the whole world. China ranks first in the usage of AI technology in the world, according to the Global Time article, with the rate of using AI is 58%. At the end of the 2023, the 5G stations across the whole country has reached 3.337 million. China has released the new generation AI governance principles outlining ethical guidelines for AI development and deployment. Chinese AI startups attract significant investment from both domestic and international sources. China unveils its first fully autonomous vehicle for commercial use. Chinese AI companies begin expanding globally, competing with Western counterparts in various markets. Chinese host the World Artificial Intelligence Conference, showcasing its investment in AI technologies and research. So, how does the AI usage in China affect environmentally? First, improve air quality.
For air pollution control, AI has been used for air quality monitoring and prediction, such as weather forecasting. And for next, reduce carbon emissions. Since China is the biggest country that use electronic vehicles, the carbon emission is definitely will be reduced. And there's some negative effect from the AI usage, such as energy consumption and electronic waste. Now, let's look at the last countries that we are going to compare for today, Malaysia. Malaysia ranks 41st in the world for percentage of AI usage according to the STAR, with the rate of using AI is just 26%. According to our research, Malaysia has just used the AI technologies in healthcare sectors the most, which then followed by the finance and banking. The statistics shows that Malaysia has used only 7.8% of AI technologies environmentally according to Harian Metro articles. So the Ministry of Education Malaysia said in 2027, the basics of AI will be taught in primary school in a subject they call technology and digital.
So, as we all know, artificial intelligence or AI can make significant changes in climate emergencies. They can help to restore, save, and rebuild the infrastructure. However, there are some downsides that we cannot overlook. First one, electronic waste, also known as e-waste. Graphic processing units or specialized chips that are used widely, that are used massively in AI technologies that can contribute to e-waste if not disposed properly. This e-waste that if not disposed properly can lead to risk and pollution. Next is data center heat pollution. As China is the largest AI users, they have lots of data centers and computing facilities all around the country. These data centers and computing facilities are used to support AI in operation. However, they generate heat that can lead to localized heat pollution and thermal pollution in surrounding ecosystem. So what we can summarize from this research is AI can sustain the environment surely, especially in climate emergencies, as we've been discussed with China and the United States. As a growing second world country, Malaysia should take example from China and the United States on how they use AI environmentally and take inspiration from them.
So that's all from us. Thank you.
Now, I would like to invite the audience to ask questions.
Now, as you know, artificial intelligence needs the use of technology within Malaysia. So, because Malaysia has a few areas where not Wi-Fi is always accessed, or where technology isn't able to be that used, how do you think rural areas can actually start having artificial intelligence and start using artificial intelligence? And what do you think Malaysia should do to actually increase the use of artificial intelligence within Malaysia? Thank you.
The government can spend
Can you repeat the question, please?
So I'll just try and simplify it. Basically, not all areas in Malaysia have access to artificial intelligence. So number one, what do you think we should do to combat that situation? And number two, what are the things that Malaysia should do to increase the the use of artificial intelligence?
Aku nak cakap kalau kerajaan dia macam apa spend money. Mike. Kena perpuluh ni dulu. Okay, kalau nak cakap macam kerajaan akan government should spend money to the so regarding to your question, government should spend money to try to expand the artificial intelligence technologies to the rural areas. And also for your second question, sebab dia tanya apa? Dia tanya apa tadi panggil? For your second question, as we said in our slide, the Ministry of Education in Malaysia said that in 2027, there will be basics of AI that will be taught to primary schools. So so maybe in the future, Malaysia will have the people of Malaysia will expand their knowledge more about AI, and that's all. Thank you.
So that's all from us.
Judges nak tanya juga.
Any questions from the judges?
Okay. Hello, dengar? Okay, so from the study that you've done, so what do you think, in your opinion, what do you think the future of AI in Malaysia, and what should Malaysian government invest first?
In our opinion, I think the government can invest their money on the education first. Just like another country has used the technologies in their education, such as just e-book and tablets. They didn't bring their books everywhere and just using the e-books. And for the
by using e-book, they also can reduce paper.
By using e-books, also we can reduce the paper usage. And that's all.
Thank you, Sekolah Menengah Sains Sultan Iskandar, for the stimulating presentation.
first thing. First.
Now, let's hear from the fourth team, Sekolah Menengah Sains Kuching Utara, to present.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the words of our Buckminster Fuller, I quote, "Humanity is acquiring all of the right technology for the wrong reasons. While the technology that we have today can be used to heal our world, it can also be used to raise and burn it to the ground." Now, with the rise of the fourth industrial revolution, a new technology is brought onto the scene: artificial intelligence. Now, as we speak, artificial intelligence is being used to fight wars on fronts across the globe or spread misinformation to create public disarray. However, ladies and gentlemen, fret not. The English proverb says, "In every cloud is a silver lining." Allow me the liberty to highlight the benefits of AI and associate it with another major problem of our era: our environment. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very splendid morning I bid to our revered educators and members of the floor. We, the contingent from SM Science Kuching Utara, would like to present our case under SDG 9, Industry, Innovation and Infrastructure, under Sub-Theme 4, AI Solutions for Environmental Protection, leveraging technology to safeguard our planet. Now, before we continue, allow me a moment to introduce our team. First, I, Awan Kalishul Amal, will be your presenter for today. Then there's Baki Zafra binti Nasr Hakim, Elijah Mansur Ala Musa, and lastly, Nur Aina Zahra as other members of my team. Without further ado, let us dive deeper into our investigation. First, allow me to present the main focus for our presentation today, which is utilizing artificial intelligence in earthquake detection and damage mitigation. Now, moving on, allow me to elaborate a bit on the theme which our presentation is built on, SDG 9 itself. Ladies and gentlemen, for your information, the United Nations 9th Sustainable Development Goal, or SDG 9, aims to enhance infrastructure, promote sustainable industrialization, and lastly, foster innovation for environmental sustainability. Now, in the context of SDG 9, what significance would AI pose? Well, artificial intelligence has the potential to be a key player in optimizing resource management, enhancing infrastructure monitoring, the promotion of inclusive industrialization, and the support of scientific research geared towards conservation of our environment. Now, moving on, let us delve deeper into understanding AI and environmental protection. For our first point, let us discuss AI technologies and their role in earthquake detection. First, artificial intelligence's machine learning capabilities can be used to analyze seismic data to predict earthquakes and forecast other seismic anomalies. Next, artificial intelligence's model construction abilities can be also used to process past seismic data for thorough human analysis. And last but not least, AI can be integrated into early warning systems to process and spread alerts and warnings over a wide variety of communication mediums. For our second point, let us look at how AI can safeguard and recover our planet from earthquakes. First of all, in the context of disaster response, artificial intelligence can be used to coordinate the deployment of unmanned vehicles to deliver aid and assess damage caused by earthquakes. Next, Artificial intelligences can also be used to forecast the magnitude of earthquake based on available seismic data in the field of risk assessment. The artificial intelligence is a key player in continuously monitoring the health of infrastructure, thus detecting damage early so that further deterioration can be prevented. Now, ladies and gentlemen, allow me a moment to present to you a general fact. For your information, the most earthquake-prone nation on Earth is Japan, with as many as 2,000 fault lines running deep beneath the land of the rising sun. The photo that you see here now is a glimpse into the destruction caused by a magnitude 7.5 earthquake, which had recently rattled Wajima, Japan, earlier this year. Moving on to our next point now, let us investigate examples of artificial intelligence in detecting and mitigating earthquakes. For our presentation today, we present to you an AI algorithm for predicting potential earthquakes. The following content is cited from an article published by the University of Texas in the year 2023. The contents are the following. A team of researchers at the Jackson School of Geosciences have crafted an algorithm for earthquake detection. The algorithm itself was on trial for 7 months in China, and it functioned by analyzing available seismic activity at the time. The algorithm was able to successfully forecast 14 earthquakes a week before they strike. Next, we now advance to our next point, which is advancements in AI for environmental conservation. First of all, in the field of monitoring and surveillance, artificial intelligence can be used to pilot cameras, sensors, drones, and even satellites to obtain more detailed imagery and video feed regarding earthquakes. Next, in the field of predictive modeling and analysis, artificial intelligence's traits, such as predictive algorithms, machine learning models, and predictive analytics can be used to compile data for geologists across the globe to analyze. And lastly, authorities can refer to AI to establish AI-influenced earthquake evacuation and preparation strategies. Now let us look at strategies for ensuring responsible and sustainable use of AI in conservation initiatives. Or in other words, how can we ensure its correct usage and prevent the collected data from falling into the wrong hands? First of all, we can counter this issue by establishing regulatory frameworks, or in other words, clear guidelines and regulations, and ensure that adherence through the conduction of audits by authorities such as the MCMC. Next would be continuous data monitoring and evaluation through the implementation of concrete cybersecurity measures to ensure that our collected data is not compromised. Moving on, we now look into collaborative approaches in industry and innovation. First of all, collaborative efforts should be fostered between parties such as government agencies, NGOs, and even private companies to accelerate the deployment of artificial intelligence solutions. Next, this collaboration should also be present amongst academic scholars and authorities to ensure the innovation of AI solutions in the context of environmental conservation. This collaboration should also foster technology transfer and knowledge sharing. For example, the exchange of seismic data between geological stations and authorities such as Malaysia to accelerate the deployment and innovation of other AI solutions. Lastly, we can also establish ecosystems for stakeholders to independently brainstorm and innovate their own commercialized forms of AI solutions. Moving on to our second last point, let us look at empowering change through education and engagement. First of all, we can establish awareness among students by raising awareness on the role of AI in countering the climate crisis. Next, students should also be exposed to artificial intelligence by equipping them with technology competency and AI literacy. These STEM students can also be further exposed to artificial intelligence through the use of hands-on learning experience, such as training their own AI solutions in their own classrooms. And lastly, schools with advanced AI programs can help facilitate partnerships between other schools and communities in the name of community collaboration and advocacy for the use of AI and environmental conservation. Moving on to our last point now, we now look at future prospects and global impact. First of all, would be integrated ecosystem management, or in other words, AI can be used to promote biodiversity and help conserve the environment from unseen dangers. Next, in the context of equitable access to solutions, nobody should be excluded from AI solutions to help them with their own needs. Next, AI can also play a significant role in affecting decisions made by policymakers across the world in the innovation of greener government policies. Next, Artificial intelligence can be also deployed in the field of logistics for more precise resource management. And last but not least, AI can be applied to surveillance systems anywhere where they're needed to establish a ubiquitous environmental monitoring ecosystem. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached the end of our presentation. Here are a few points to recap our presentation so far. Number one, artificial intelligence fulfills many key roles in natural disaster management as a whole. Next, artificial intelligence can provide valuable data for research purposes to develop more streamlined plans regarding earthquake management. Although same data must be carefully stored and protected to bar data misuse and inappropriate commercialization. Last but not least, the next generation must be equipped with awareness and knowledge of artificial intelligence to innovate new AI-based solutions to combat future natural disasters that may appear as our climate begins to change. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached the final end of our presentation. Thank you for lending your ears.
Now, I would like to invite the audience to ask some questions. Perhaps any from the judges?
Okay, Assalamualaikum. So I like the presentation. I like how you cite your information. However, I would like to know more about the second part of, I read it from your abstract, that you try to demonstrate how AI can help post-disaster management. Can you elaborate on that?
Yes, that's correct. First of all, as our presentation suggests, we want to try and associate the possibilities of AI in the context of disaster management. And for our presentation, we have specifically selected earthquakes other than other natural disasters. As although floods are another possibility that we could have considered, earthquakes pose a larger threat to our society, as it may cause the complete crippling of infrastructure, as well as the local economy, as commerce has stopped in the regions affected by earthquakes. The same can be said for floods, though. But however, there are some regions that have these things called floating markets, which in the event of a flood may be unaffected by these natural disasters. However, land-based markets such as supermarkets and convenience stores can be affected by earthquakes should the infrastructure itself fail and collapse under the pressure caused by these seismic anomalies. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, the second part, I just want your opinion on data security that you mentioned. There could be a misuse of it. So, what are devices that you use the earthquake need to deploy, and why is it not accessible to public if it is data privacy?
Oh, the data. All right. So let us assume that these earthquake management devices are commercially made, in the sense that it is privately made with the collaboration of local governments. This will automatically classify that collected data as a form of trade secret. So in the event that collected data is somehow compromised and it reaches the knowledge of other parties, they may attempt to create a copycat of that same product. However, they may not achieve the exact same results. They're just developing a product based on the data that we have collected. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Sekolah Menengah Sains Kuching Utara, for the fascinating presentation. Now, I would like to invite the fifth team, Sekolah Menengah Sains Selangor, to present.
Cutting food waste is a delicious way to save money, helping to feed the world and save the planet. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning I bid to the moderator, wise judges, timekeepers, repertoire, and everybody present here. I Nabil,
I Izzat,
I Eva,
and Ernie, as our tech assistant, are here to present our findings titled Leveraging Artificial Intelligence to Mitigate Food Waste, a nexus of environmental and climate protection. Now, before we start, let us watch this short video.
Did you know that food loss and waste is one of the biggest contributors to climate change?
Today, our agri-food systems are broken. And yet, the way we produce and consume food is resulting in high rates of food loss and waste. Every year, around 14% of the world's food is lost after harvest and in the distribution chain prior to retail. And an additional 17% of food available to consumers is wasted. Food loss and waste account for 8 to 10% of the world's greenhouse gas emissions. Greenhouse gases contribute to an unstable climate prone to drastic environmental change and extreme weather events.
Now, what exactly is climate change? Climate change refers to significant and lasting changes in global climate patterns, primarily attributed to human activities altering the composition of the atmosphere. The primary cause of climate change is the emission of greenhouse gases. These gases trap heat from the sun, leading to a warming effect known as the greenhouse effect. These human-induced factors have led to changes in precipitation patterns, rising sea levels, increased global temperature, and more frequent extreme weather events, all of which are characteristics of climate change. However, today, we will share the findings of our research on how food waste can impact climate and offer solutions through the utilization of artificial intelligence.
This study is qualitative. We analyze documents along with an interview, utilizing a synthesis matrix in order to yield rich data for the study. Now, ladies and gentlemen, although the exact amount varies, depending on factors such as disposal methods, waste management practices, and regional differences, estimates suggest that food waste accounts for a substantial portion of global greenhouse gas emissions, such as carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. Methane emissions from decomposing organic matter in landfills are of particular concern, as methane has a much higher warming potential than carbon dioxide over a shorter time frame. And based on an article in the Malaysian Reserve in 2022, it is stated that 1 kilogram of food wasted is equivalent to 2.5 kilograms of greenhouse gas being emitted. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, approximately 8 to 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions are attributed to food loss and waste. This includes emissions from various stages of the food supply chain, such as production, transportation, processing, and disposal. An article by Earth.org in 2022 stated that if food waste were a country, its greenhouse gas emissions would be the third largest in the world, following the US and China. Overall, reducing food waste is crucial for mitigating climate change by reducing methane emissions from landfills, minimizing the energy and resources expended on wasted food, and decreasing the overall greenhouse gas footprint of the food system.
Based on our findings, 1.3 billion tons of food suitable for human consumption are lost or wasted every year, according to the World Count's website. Now, zooming into our country, an article by Trisakok in 2023 mentions that Malaysians waste around 8.3 million metric tons, which is 259.82 kilograms per person. While these numbers are concerning, Malaysia has yet to implement new ways to reduce food waste. Artificial intelligence refers to the simulation of human intelligence in machines, enabling them to perform tasks that typically require human intelligence, such as learning, reasoning, problem-solving, perception, and decision-making. AI encompasses various subfields and techniques, including machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, computer vision, robotics, and expert systems. These techniques enable AI systems to analyze large data sets, recognize patterns, make predictions, interpret images and videos, and interact with the environment. However, are you all aware that AI can be used to solve food waste problems, which can, in the long run, help save our planet? Well, we are here to tell you that it can. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Milioto in the Journal of Field Robotics highlights computer vision's role in crop monitoring and yield prediction to combat food waste. John Deere uses this technology for real-time crop health and weed detection. helping farmers reduce losses and optimize yields. A 2019 review in Critical Reviews in Food Science and Nutrition emphasizes AI in quality control and shelf life prediction. Impact Vision uses hyperspectral imaging and computer vision to analyze food freshness and quality, aiding suppliers and retailers in inventory optimization and waste reduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, Marriott International, on the other hand, employs predictive analytics to forecast demand for menu items, analyzing historical sales, weather, and local event data. This strategic approach enables precise predictions of customer preferences and demand fluctuations, resulting in a 20% reduction of food waste and substantial cost savings. Next, Walmart's smart inventory management utilizes artificial intelligence to monitor product expirations, sales, and customer preferences in real time. This system optimizes inventory levels, reducing overstocking, and cutting food waste by 30% across its stores. These real-world examples demonstrate how artificial intelligence technologies effectively reduce food waste across the sectors of the food industry, leading to both environmental benefits and cost savings for businesses. Our interview also supports our statement.
Artificial intelligence can be incredibly effective in reducing food waste. By analyzing data on purchasing patterns, expiration dates, and other factors, AI can help optimize inventory management and predict demand more accurately.
Now, let us present to you the recommendations that we have from Malaysia in the mission to save the planet through food waste reduction. Firstly, Malaysia can implement AI algorithms to optimize inventory levels and reduce wastage of perishable goods. Malaysian food distributors and wholesalers can deploy AI-powered inventory management solutions to monitor stock levels in real time, detect expiry dates, and prioritize the sales of products nearing expiration. For instance, companies like MyGrocer, an online grocery platform operating in Malaysia, can use AI to manage their inventory efficiently and reduce food waste. Next, by using AI-powered demand forecasting systems, similar to those used by global retailers like Walmart and Tesco, these systems analyze historical sales data, weather patterns, and other relevant factors to predict future demand, minimizing overstocking and reducing food waste. On the other hand, ladies and gentlemen, AI-driven logistics, including routing algorithms, might be able to optimize surplus food redistribution for organizations like Malaysia's Food Aid Foundation. Platforms like Spain's Robin Food effectively match excess food with nearby charities, combating waste and hunger simultaneously. By implementing these AI-driven solutions, Malaysia can effectively combat food waste, reduce environmental impact, and promote a more sustainable food system. Ladies and gentlemen, do you remember what we mentioned in our presentation earlier? Looking back at how much we, as Malaysians, waste food annually, and if Malaysia manages to adopt AI to combat food waste, just imagine how much greenhouse gas emission reduction that we could achieve. Malaysia will be one of the contributing nations in achieving Indication 9.4.1 under the Sustainable Development Goal number 9.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, while specific estimates vary, a report by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology suggests that the widespread adoption of AI technology across the food supply chain could potentially reduce global food waste by 20 to 50%. Relating to this, the United Nations Environment Programme estimates that reducing food waste by 50% globally could lead to a reduction in greenhouse gas emissions by up to 4.5 gigatons of carbon dioxide equivalent per year by 2050. This reduction would contribute significantly in achieving global climate targets. At the same time, help limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels.
Overall, these estimates highlight the significant potential for greenhouse gas emission reductions through efforts to combat food waste. The implementation of artificial intelligence technology could translate into substantial reductions in greenhouse gas emissions, given that food waste contributes approximately 8 to 10% of global greenhouse gases. And with this reduction, we can achieve substantial environmental benefits. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, let's band together to address food waste by harnessing the power of artificial intelligence, paving the way for a brighter future and a healthier planet. With that, we thank you.
I would like to invite the audience to ask some questions.
Hi. Hi, my name is Irina from Gomusan Science School. So my question is, how does Malaysia actually manage food waste in this current time in every household?
Thank you for your question. Ma- Malaysian citizens in households have been using the soil decomposition method to solve food waste. By letting the soil decompose with the soil, you can help in making a fertilizer for the plants in their houses. Thank you.
Any questions from the judges?
Okay, hi. I just want to follow up from that. So, what are the AI devices that are suitable for home appliance regarding this food waste management? Oh, tak dengar? Oh,
Sorry.
okay. Follow-up question from the earlier. So what are the suitable devices or appliances for AI to be implemented in houses?
We think that the suitable AI technology that should be implemented in households are should be AI technology like Wino. Wino is an AI technology that tracks food waste by using sensors for trash cans. With this, we can properly distribute food waste across the soils in households so that it can grow it can become fertilizers at a faster rate.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sekolah Menengah Sains Selangor, for the eye-opening presentation.
Yes.
Now, let us hear from the last team, which is Sekolah Berasrama Penuh Integrasi JEMPOL, to present.
Honorable judges, respected audience, and everyone here today, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I'd like to thank the Almighty God. This because of Him we are all able to attend this contest. Secondly, may salawat and salam always be delivered to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, had brought us from the darkness to this bright modern era that we live in today. And last but not least, I'd like to thank the judges for giving us this exceptional opportunity to compete in this contest. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good day. I hope you all are feeling as amazing as I am right now. Today, our team SBPI Integrasi JEMPOL will be presenting AI solutions for environmental protection engines of the future. Before anything else, please wave your hands and show a big smile to the team. That is me, AISHAH, as the first presenter. And this is our second presenter, Huaida Hayani. Besides, we have the wonderful Miss Idayu as our teacher advisor, Akin Mirza as the moderator, and reliable technical assistant as Lukman. Before moving on to the next slides, first, you must understand, what is an AI anyway? AI is a field that involves creating computer systems that are capable of performing tasks that require human intelligence. AI is revolutionizing the way we interact with machines and the world around us.
The previous slide had shown the reason why we have chosen to talk about this topic. The problem with fuel cars lies in the environmental impact, dependence on finite fossil fuels, and health risks from emission. This necessitating the exploration of alternative transportation solutions like electric vehicles, hydrogen vehicles, and sustainable biofuels for a sustainable future. Well, research is not a research without its main objective. Our main objective here is to find the upside and downside of both electric and hydrogen cars. And lastly, to set side by side both of them at the end. We have also developed a methodology that involves studying research papers and quality articles on the internet. By comparing nearly 14 research papers and articles combined, we aim to stay updated on the current issues and advancement of hydrogen and electric cars. This is the graph that shows the monthly vehicle sales in the Asian country. This graph shows the increases of carbon dioxide, and this pie chart shows the total carbon dioxide emissions.
People of the hall, one of the roles of AI in electrical vehicles is autonomous driving, also known as self-driving or driverless technology, capable of navigating and operating without human intervention. AI is used to optimize battery performance and lifespan in autonomous driving systems. Second, range prediction and optimization are crucial aspects of autonomous driving, especially in EVs, where battery range directly impacts the vehicle's operational capabilities.
Let's move on to the hydrogen vehicles. AI monitor the availability and status of hydrogen refueling station in real time. This is crucial to ensuring the reliability and efficiency of hydrogen cars. Second, AI enhances the safety features in hydrogen cars. It does this by constantly checking different parts of the cars to make sure that everything is working well and safe.
All right, folks, after a long research, we have discovered the bright side of both electric and hydrogen vehicles, starting with smart fueling stations. In this contemporary age, fuel stations can easily be found across the countries. The availability of charging infrastructure is crucial for the adoption of electric cars. Charging options range from slow charging at home using a standard electrical capabilities, using a standard electrical outlet, to fast charging options using along highways or in urban areas. Next, high-end technology. High-end technology using advanced innovation and features that enhance performance, efficiency, and user experience, such as long-range batteries. Number 3, shall I continue, is great energy efficiency. Energy efficiency is a key advantage of EVs, ensuring their long-term reliability, performance, and value for consumers.
Next, let's continue to the benefits of hydrogen vehicles. Hydrogen is clean and safe, made up around 70% of the matter, making it readily available for local sourcing. Second, hydrogen vehicles offer smooth and quiet operation. Generating electricity through the chemical process between oxygen and hydrogen, these vehicles eliminates the combustion noise, not like traditional engines do. Number 3, hydrogen is an energy carrier that has the potential to replace fossil fuels. This is due to its widely availability, constitute approximately 75% of universe elemental mass. Last one, The expansion of hydrogen refueling network is spurred by various factors such as the government support and industry collaboration. For example, the Japanese government is building hydrogen station in Motomiya, Fukushima Prefecture to show that they are serious about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, despite such brilliant advancement, certain issues should be taken to the ground. Even though a rose has its thorns, new vehicles that are introduced have their drawbacks. Let's look at the HFCB. First and foremost, we have limited infrastructure. This remains a significant challenge, hindering their widespread adoption of the world. Second, low energy efficiency due to energy conversion steps. And lastly, safety concerns. Did you know that hydrogen is actually very, very flammable? Hydrogen is actually high flammable and low lower concentration than gasoline or diesel fuel. Now let's look at the EV. We have limited driving range and long charging times, which concern EV owners. And the last one, battery and lifespan degradation.
Now, let's continue the availability of hydrogen and electric vehicles. Where we live in Malaysia, it's hard to find places to charge electric vehicles, which is slowing their adoption. There's a research on Europe shown that having more charging stations helps. According to the Commission, there should be one public station for every 5 EVs on the road. Due to the increasing of EVs on the road, Europe has taken the initiative to build more electric charging stations. Secondly, availability also depends on where you live. So checking with local manufacturers is very recommended. While hydrogen cars are getting more attention and available in some places, they are still not common enough. They are not common as electric vehicles. One of the reasons is that there aren't many places to fill them up compared to charging station for electric vehicles. Now, let's take a look at this bar chart that shows the average vehicle prices. Based on our research, we can see that the price difference between hydrogen and electric vehicles can go as high as 100,000 ringgit Malaysia. Moving on, we have the average price for full tank of both of these vehicles. Interestingly, a huge difference between these two. The user needs to spend more on a full tank of hydrogen cars compared to electric cars, which it can reach as high as 300 ringgit Malaysia, which is very high.
Now, from what we have found, let's look at the market price. For the EVs, it can go as high as 124,000 ringgit Malaysia. When we look at the hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, it can go as high as 200,000 ringgit Malaysia. Moving on. Also, we have studied about the maintenance cost. For the starters, spare parts. The spare parts are very limited in some countries like Malaysia. Second, because of refueling. And the third on the list, tire and maintenance. That requires very specific tire to have more contact on the road.
So this is the example of electric vehicles that we found, and this is the example of hydrogen cars. We highly recommend on considering solar panels as an alternative transportation. Solar panels is a strong option for future add-ons. While hydrogen cars are clean and quick to refuel, and electric cars use no emission, solar panels drain their power straight from the sun, saving money and reducing pollution. Not to mention, Malaysia, our country is a country that has high exposure to sun. So solar panels have a good chance of being an add-on for hydrogen and electric cars, offering green, self-sustaining way to travel and save time.
To sum up, our transportation industry is ready with our own technological capabilities, and UN SDG 9 is achievable. An old man once said, "You guys are the magicians of the 21st century. Don't let anything hold you back. Imagination is the limit. Go out there and make something magic." I believe that is all from us. Thank you so much for your attention.
Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I would like to invite the audience to ask questions. Perhaps any questions from the judges?
Okay, good presentations. In the meantime, I'm interested to know more about your suggestion regarding the hybrid solar panel.
Sorry, sir, can you
Yeah.
lower it, please? I'm so sorry.
I'm interested to know more regarding the hybrid solar panel. Can you elaborate more on the function of it?
Okay, thank you for the questions. So regarding the hybrid, which is adding on solar panel, so why we choose solar panel is because first, we know hydrogen and electric vehicles are are fueled with batteries. So using solar panel, it can charge the battery cell, so it will reduce the time needed for them to charge their electric vehicles and to fuel their hydrogen vehicles. First, it will. Oh wait. Okay. So first, it will reduce the cost of refueling, and it will give advantage for the users. So yeah, there we go. So that's all.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. Can you go back to the slide for recommendation, please? I just want to recheck in case I missed something. Okay, considering in your objectives, you mentioned that you are trying to identify the drawbacks for EV and the hybrid is HSFC. Yes, HFC, right? Okay, how does providing recommendation in regards to solar panels help to combat the drawbacks available in those two types of vehicles?
Okay, thank you for the question. It's the same with the answer I give for the solar panel. For the electric vehicle, you see there's a drawbacks which longer recharge time. So I'll give example. If someone is working and they park their cars at open areas which exposed to sunlight, this can at least shorten the amount of charging time. So when so the car, so when they done their work, their car are ready at least over 50% to go back home, and yeah, that saves some time.
Other than the charging parts, because you mentioned quite a few drawbacks earlier, but you just focus on, can I know that's like, other than the charging parts?
Okay,
Okay, so we take an example here, the low energy efficiency. So solar panels energy efficiency is better than hydrogen and fuel cars energy efficiency.
By the means of low energy efficiency is by the refueling stage. So by low energy efficiency, if you know, how do we get the hydrogen? So basically, if we learn, we don't get hydrogen that atom, but we use electrolysis, which separates H2O into hydrogen and water. So this require energy, which from 100% maybe to 35% of the energy efficiency. So after the hydro is produced, they must pack into a smaller form to fill in the tank, so then it can be used at the refueling station. So that will reduce more energy efficiency. So that's why when solar panel actually, it helps in low energy efficiency, which it don't need any specific process. It's just sunlight to the solar panel, and it charge the hydrogen car. That's all for me.
Thank you, SBPI JEMPOL, for the lovely presentation. With all that being said, we have came to the end of our session. Thank you to all the educators, presenters, and members of the floor for your time. Have a lovely afternoon.
Thank you.